Okay, so I was just sitting outside, right? And I had an interesting revelation about something that I um tapped into earlier. I know that, or I've learned rather, I don't really like using the word know. I've learned that the scriptures say that if they hated you, it's because they hated the Most High's first. But then you have a flip side to that where if you do wrong, you become kind of like, I'm not saying scripture says this, but it's my way of like trying to interpret just what I pay attention to, life experience. You become like a footstool to your enemy. So when you sin or you do like wrong, you become like a servant to that entity that you just made a contract with through your sin. And so I just found this to be so interesting how early I was thinking to myself, because I'm healing a lot of stuff. I'm healing a lot of trauma. A lot of stuff came up that I just never even looked back at, honestly. And part of walking with the Most High Creator has forced me to like look back at things that I never ever a day in my life examined or thought twice about ever. And so that's why you have a lot of people thinking their past don't affect them, or if it's the past, it don't affect you, honey. Ah, I can't speak for nobody else, but for me, on my path to begin healing, it was imperative that I did that. And that's why the Creator guided me to do that. I can't tell other people what to do, but I know what my path has asked of me to do and kind of like forced me to do. Um, and the way that experiences you have, good and bad, remain stored in the subconscious mind and all of that stuff, it really has an effect on your present self. So I was thinking back, like Sheena, because I had to take some time off social media. Every now and again, I'll do a fast. Sometimes I'm deactivated off my account so long that it completely shut down, or I intentionally, like this time, shut down the account because of all the negativity that was coming in. And I'm like, Sheena, when is the last time you went through these kind of attacks? And I had to think back. I'm like, middle school was rough, high school was fine, elementary school was horrible, preschool was okay. And I think back, okay, so what was the nature of what was going on? And preschool was just babies, elementary school, we were babies, but it was the same thing where they pick on the person that they render as weak or the set apart ones, um, or whatever. And then middle school, it was torment, absolute torment. It was probably, aside from what I'm presently dealing with, that was the first worst spiritual attack I'd ever experienced. Like, to see every single last person's entity within them or that they're possessed because I'm tapped into that dimension because of the frequency I'm on. So I'm able to see or feel rather that I was walking through the valley of the shadow of death, like literally. And that just like in scripture, I say you're not dealing with or battling against people, but the spirits that be or something like that. So if you going at it with a person or you're recognizing a person's not taking to your energy, it just be spirits that's within people. And so anyways, uh, I was just like, yeah, when's the last time you went through this? And I'm thinking middle school, that was the worst of it. And so in high school, um, I did my best to fit in. And I think those were my best years because of that. But the minute I started to start feeling death again before it was happening, like the minute that other side of me tried to activate and I was experiencing a lot of spiritual things that I didn't understand at that time. This was about 2013, my junior year of high school. And that's when I lost my first friend. I knew someone was gonna go, and he left the same day that I said what I said on the beach, and then it happened again. my senior year where I had a dream and da 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 da. Next thing you know, very next day, a person gets shot, just like how I saw in the same places I got shot in my dream. And I just started to experience those things, and that was the last time I was isolated and called crazy and ridiculed and called weird. So that happened again, to the point where I spent those years more so of a loner because of people looking at me like something was wrong with me. But anytime I got any hate in my life is what I'm starting to realize is anytime that I was being upgraded by the Most High, I was being lifted off to another level, I was tapping into a higher frequency, or whenever I was in a dormant human like state where those gifts and that side would go dormant. But um I was I just have this eeriness about me that's just very different. Like, and growing up I was very different from those around me. I'm not saying better. I don't believe in any of that. I was cool with strippers. I